Hi everybody, Alex here from Expert Forex, and I'm quite excited about this video. We are relaunching an upgraded version of our trending EA, and I am going to show you, and you're going to see this EA trade $1,000 to $17,000. And that's only in 7 months, so I've only traded this from the start of this year. The beauty too is that you can use small accounts on this one. We've used it at a $1,000 account. You can even go smaller on this one. Okay, so what does this magic moving average multiplier do? It lets you use two moving averages to determine the direction of the trend, and then it will place trades with the trend on the close of every candle, and that's why we call it the multiplier. It multiplies the trend as it's happening. It also hedges when appropriate. So when the trend changes, it starts hedging and entering sell trades, and the buy and the sell trades cancel each other out. Now, exits include pruning. They include trade targets. So every trade has a target. Every trade has a stop. There are also group targets and group stops. There are trailing stops. And all of that encourages really good, profitable results, as you will see. Now here is the moving average multiplier, and just briefly in this particular picture you can see as the trend is going up, it's adding to the trend, and as the trend changes it starts adding to the sell trend. And because these transactions have stops and targets, they are pretty safe. They can also hedge against some of the sell trades, so it is a very efficient EA. So as it says here, it's simple to use. It's it has high profit potential. It has good support, as all our EAs have. It uses small accounts. That's a big bonus. A lot of people only like using small accounts, and it is a trend following EA. As always, links to items mentioned in this video will be in the description of the video, as well as in the first comment of the video. Okay, so now that we know it's a trending EA, the first and most important thing you must do is you must not trade a trending EA with sideways currencies. You need to use the best trending currency. So here I've created a tool called the Trend Analyzer, and it analyzes the currencies and from being the most trendy to the least trendy, and the blue ones at the bottom here are the least trendy, and those are the most trendy. So in this example, I'm going to show you the pound yen. The pound yen is the most trendy EA, and why do we say that? The average trend is 400 pips, whereas the smallest one is only 60. And the longest trend made by the pound yen is almost 2,000 pips, whereas the lowest one is 200. So you don't trade trend EAs with sideways currencies, you trade them with trending currencies. That's the biggest point that you must take away. So if you're going to use this EA for trending, you must download this tool. It is free, so it doesn't cost you anything, and it keeps you up to date about trendiness of currencies. So let's go and have a look at some of the settings, just to give you an idea. I'm not going to go into a lot of detail of what kind of settings are supplied. Okay, so let's start with the settings. And as I say, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but the settings allow you to close groups of trades. You can either close them, you can set a group trade target and a group trade loss. Fantastic for prop traders. That's the kind of things that they're looking for. And then after the close, you can tell the EA whether you want to stop trading or then continue trading. Then as I mentioned earlier, we have two moving averages, and there are the details of the moving averages. Now, there's also a trade entry mode. So here we are, and I'll just open the drop down. There are 4 strategies that you can trade. You can trade a bounce strategy using Bollinger Bands. You can use a trend strategy using Bollinger Bands, or you can use the moving average strategy using moving averages, and you can use a trend and bounce strategy. So there's a lot of strategies that you can use. I'm only going to show you the entry with the trend moving average. But this is a powerful EA, has lots of options. I'm only going to show you the one today. So I'm not going to go into the Bollinger Band settings, but there are Bollinger Band settings that are used for some of the strategies. And then you can decide whether you want to trade against the signals that you get generated or with the signals that generated. So if you're trading this one and it's making a loss, you just trade the opposite signals. So it's very easy. You always have a chance of winning. And then maximum spread, an important one to protect you from entering trades when the spreads start jumping. Then we have the leg. So you have a buy leg and you have a sell leg. The buy leg says I want to, you can set how many maximum trades you want open. And then when it reaches, let's say you say 10 and it reaches 11, then you have to tell it what you want it to do. And in most cases, we say close the most profitable trade. Or you can actually close the last trade. So there's a few options there. So you can limit the number of open trades and you can prune them as you're going along. Then there's the sell leg, but what we normally do is we just say automatic use the settings for the buy leg, for the sell leg. Then it says what kind of position sizing you want. There you can enter the position sizing. And then, as I may have mentioned, each transaction has a stop and target, so you can enter your stops and targets there. You can use a trailing stop. There's settings for the trailing stop. And I'm not going to go into the bounce settings because we're not going to be looking at that today. And you can then also enter the time of day when you don't want trades to be entered. So it's a very comprehensive EA. You can see there's a lot of protection built in. There's a lot of stops. There's group stops. There's transactional stops. There's all kinds of things. Really exciting EA. And also I'm using bar charts to make it less cluttered in terms of colors and things like that. When you load the EA, it also gives you all the settings that are being used. So there are the settings that I'm going to be using for this particular run. A lot of people ask for the settings and there they are. Just increase the size of your YouTube video and you should be able to see this. Okay, so let's start the run and away we go. And you can see it's based on tick data, so it will go slowly. I'm just going to move the box out of the way a little bit. And there we go. Off it goes. And there it's opened a sell trade. The moving averages must be pointing down. And there it's hit a couple of stops. So it shows you the stops do work and do keep you out of trouble if you're going in the wrong direction. But there it's opened a few more sells and it's actually cashed those sells in nice and positively. So it does follow the trend. When the trend changes, you do incur losses or you go into a hedged environment. So there we are. We've reached a couple of, we've cashed in a couple of trades and there now the trend has changed and we've gone into a buy phase and up it goes and you can see how it's closing deals profitably all the time. And up it goes, another buy one, there's the take profit, there's the stop. If it continues the trend, it will cash in nicely, positively, and so on. And it will get quite complicated later on. There's another buy because remember, it's an opening buy transaction on every candle. So and it's cashing in the positive ones at about $50 each. So there's a lot of them. There we are, some more cash in, some more. So you can see how well it does in a trending environment. That's why we call it a trending EA. And off it's going. It's just cashing in these deals continuously. And we'll see a little bit more action as we carry on. I'll just increase the size a little bit so that you can see some of it a little bit more clearly. And you can see how it's cashed in $50 on every time the transactions hit their target. So what's nice, it has stops, it has targets, it has an overall basket of currency target and an overall basket of currency stop. And we'll see that in action as we go. And this one's doing pretty well at this stage. We did start on the 1st of January. We're going to run to the end of July. It is August at the moment. It's early August, so we're running to the end of July. As you can see, it takes quite a long time for the trading to happen. This is being traded on a 4-hour chart. So every candle you see is a 4-hour candle, and you'll see a couple of stop outs happening, and then suddenly the trend has changed to a sell trend. So now you have a hedging situation. You do have sells open and buys open at the same time. So when the trend changes, it tends to go into a hedge mode. And there we are. We've got a couple of transactions that have been opened in sell mode, and they are now starting to cancel the buy transaction. So that is also quite important. That is where the problems sometimes come in, is that when the trend changes, there are losses made, but this builds in a hedging situation where either the ones in the wrong direction will be stopped out and the ones in the right direction will be cashed in. Now, with this particular technique, the stops are possibly smaller than the targets, so that's a good thing. So the ones in the wrong direction will get stopped at a smaller amount than the ones in the right direction. So there's an example of a sideways market where hedging does offer some protection in an unfavorable market. And we haven't seen many cashing in situations that have developed. Let's see how this one progresses. Oh, it's now changed to a buy mode. So it's starting to, and very soon we'll see some pruning happening, because I can see that the number of transactions now are increasing quite rapidly, and you will find a bit of pruning that occurs. It's difficult to keep track of the profitability of this trading, because when you have a lot of transactions open, there's a profit target again reached there, and let's just see how this progresses. You'll see that all the ones facing the right way are being cashed in positively. The ones facing the wrong way are stopped out at a smaller loss. Now, we are only on the 10th of January, and we've only covered 10 days of trading. I'm not going to go through the whole period completely. I think what I want to do is give you a good idea of how it works, how well it works in a trending market, how it protects itself in a sideways market. And I will most probably only run this presentation of the trading for another 10 minutes, and then we'll just look at the final results for the period to give you an idea of how efficient this particular trending strategy is. And there we are. We've now gone into a sideways market again, and there it's starting to open trades going down, so it's starting to open sell trades and cashing them in beautifully, and the buy trades are being stopped out. And there we are. There we've got another trend going down, and you can see the positive cashing in that's happening in that particular area. And that's why we call it the trend multiplier. When there's a trend in place, it will open a transaction in the direction of the trend, or on each new bar or new candle, depending on how you like to trade. And it's a very simple concept, but highly efficient concept. Also, the importance of using trending currencies. You really do need to use trending currencies when trading trending EAs. Okay, and there's a lot more cashing in going on there. Some of it doesn't print, some of it does print. I can see there's one that hasn't printed the positive cash in. So let's just see how things are. And that's why we'll have to have a look at the overall results. I think you've seen quite a lot about it. There's a few things you haven't seen. You haven't seen the group cash-ins. That will happen at some stage. And there's a whole lot of, and the pruning is not very clear here, but as you've seen from the settings, once a certain amount of trades have been opened, it will automatically prune the most positive, the very most positive currencies will be pruned. And here we're in a sideways market again. Trades being opened on every single bar. So a lot of hedging that's occurring and pruning that's occurring at the same time. All of the activities are designed to be profitable. So the pruning is supposed to be profitable, the hedging is supposed to be profitable, the trending is supposed to be profitable. So to a certain degree, this offers protection in sideways markets, but very big profits in successful trending markets. And here we have another trending market. It's gone up, gone sideways, and now it's going up, and it will start. And there you can see the cash ins, although it's not very clear on the actual screen. And there we go. More and more buys being cashed in. Now, there is also a playlist of all the videos that I've done on this particular EA, so I will leave a link to that playlist in the description of the video as well as in the first commentary. I think we'll just let it run for another few minutes because I think you have now got a good idea of what happens and how this EA trades. I don't know if I made it clear in the actual settings, but you can use fixed lots or you can base it on a percentage of your equity. That means that if the equity goes up, you're placing bigger lots. But this presentation is based on fixed lots. So we're not taking advantage of the fact that equity is going up and up and up all the time. It's based on this trading is based on $1,000 account, and you'll see the results pretty soon. In fact, I think what I will do now is I'll probably stop this, and then we can talk about the results. Okay, so here are the results, and here you can see the initial deposit was 1,000, the profit was 17,000, reasonable profit factor. Now, just bear in mind, these are not overly optimized settings. I have just run certain settings that I thought would work in order to illustrate how the EA works. I'm sure we can squeeze a lot more profit out of it with more optimization, but the objective was to show you how the EA works. You can see the drawdown 4,000 on 17,000, not bad. If you want a smaller drawdown, you'd simply lower the lot sizing and your profitability will come down at the same time. It's not highly profitable, it's 50% profitable at the time, but the big point here is that the profitable trades are much bigger than the ones that are not profitable. $147 compared to $122. Now, the other thing I need to tell you about this is that trending EAs make money in trending markets. When the market is not trending, it is in maintenance, it is in protection mode, and it just trades sideways. So don't think you can plug this in and it will start making profits consistently over the next year. If we look at the graph of these results, it tells that type of story. You can see it has jumps of profitability, then it goes sideways, jumps of profitability, sideways, jumps, and then it can go into long periods of sideways movement, and then periods of extreme growth. So this is why this EA can have limitations, in that people get very frustrated when it's going sideways. They stop trading it. Can you believe it? And then the next day, the Monday after they stop trading it, it shoots up and doubles the account. And then it goes sideways again, and they say, oh no, I don't want anything to do. And then it shoots up. So trending EAs are a little bit difficult to trade in that they take psychological strength to see it through the sideways period. But when it hits a gain period, you can see it is well worth it. Now, just out of interest, we started a champion concept where traders can champion EAs. They can basically download any of our EAs for free to champion those EAs. And this bit of information that came through was as a result of one of the champions feeding us this information. And the advantage to that champion is that the champion will be an affiliate on any sales made as a result of this video. So if you want to become a champion, just look at the link in the description of the video. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you've got a good feel of what the strengths and the weaknesses are of this great trending EA, the moving average multiplier. It multiplies gains in a good strength, and that multiplication, as you've seen in the graph, can double your account very quickly. In fact, it's taken this account from $1,000 to $17,000 in only 7 weeks. So as always, links to anything shown in this video will be in the description of the video as well as in the commentary of the video. So from me, Alex Deploy, cheerio.